The ratings are in for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, of course, the Blood and Guts special on TBS. WWE's Nick Khan and Paul Triple H Levesque meet with the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, to discuss the possibility of bringing WrestleMania to London. Tony Khan, the AEW president, hits out at WWE PR. Vince McMahon files a motion to lift the court-ordered stay in the Janelle Grant WWE lawsuit. Drew McIntyre posts and deletes a photo of AEW TNT champion Jack Perry aimed at CM Punk. Speaking of Punk, we've got an update on his WWE contract status. Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker. Their TBS championship match has now been made official for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. Meiko Satomura reportedly is planning to retire. Triple H opens up on the possibility of a Brock Lesnar WWE return. And Paul White is the latest authority figure in Ring of Honor. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off with the ratings for AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. AEW returned to Nashville, Tennessee for one of the biggest episodes of Dynamite all year, Blood and Guts. But the special episode didn't quite boost ratings and viewership. According to WrestleNomics, the July 24 episode of the show averaged a total of 786,000 viewers, which is down slightly from the July 17 episode that averaged 795,000 viewers, thanks to the audience retention throughout the MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. The number in the key 18 to 49 demographic also decreased by a small margin, with the 0.26 number for the July 24 show down from the 0.27 number earned the previous week. What separates, though, the Blood and Guts episode from the previous weeks is the ratings for the pattern of the quarter hours. Now, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics. Shout out to them. I'm sure to subscribe to their Patreon service. Now, the usual episodes of Dynamite peak in quarter hour 1 due to the strong leading from the Big Bang Theory, before trailing off as the 2 hours pass by. However, while the peak for the July 24 episode was quarter hour 1 at 864,000 viewers, the show gained almost all of the viewers lost over the first hour. At the beginning of the second hour, 732,000 viewers were watching, but by the end of the show, in the 6-minute overrun, a total of 853,000 viewers got to see the conclusion of the Blood and Guts match. An even more impressive feat, considering that the presidential announcement by President Joe Biden drew almost 29 million viewers. Now, on the Blood and Guts show, Team AEW went to war with the Elite in the 2-ring structure that saw Jack Perry almost get lit on fire again, Anthony Bowens fall from the side of the cage through 4 tables, and Darby Allin negotiating his way into a TNT Championship match at AEW All In. As I mentioned, Dynamite did go up against strong competition for a period of time because President Joe Biden's Oval Office address on ending his re-election campaign on Wednesday drew a large TV audience. Nearly 29 million people, 28.9 million to be precise, watched the 15-minute speech at 8 p.m. Eastern across 15 broadcast and cable networks, according to the Nielsen rating. So with that being considered, what do you think about this number? Is it what you expected? Is it better? Is it worse? Let me know your thoughts or reactions to all of it in the comment section below. Now, WrestleMania in the UK, in London, is now a distinct possibility. WWE and the Mayor of London are discussing bringing WrestleMania to the UK. Now, the London government sent out a memo late last night confirming that a meeting between Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, and Triple H and Nick Khan, as well as other WWE representatives, took place yesterday. The memo says, quote, "Today, the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, met with WWE President Nick Khan and WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque at London City Hall to discuss their shared ambition of bringing WrestleMania to the capital." London is the sporting capital of the world, home to some of the biggest international sporting events, and Sadiq understands the power of sport not only to bring people together, but also to bring major economic returns. The mayor pledged in April to bring together a task force to explore bringing even more sports from North America and around the world to London, including the first international WrestleMania hosted by the UK. Paul Triple H Levesque saw the story and let the mayor know he was ready to talk. Mayor of London Sadiq Khan said, quote, "I am delighted to have met with WWE Hall of Famer Paul Triple H Levesque and WWE President Nick Khan today to discuss how we can work to make London's WrestleMania's first international destination. London has a great pedigree in hosting the biggest international sporting events from around the globe, and I'm determined to cement our city's reputation as the undisputed sports capital of the world as we work together for a better London for everyone. It's exciting to be working with the WWE team. The meeting was really productive, and talks will continue about how we could turn our ambition into a reality. WWE President Nick Khan said, quote, Sadiq Khan and his team are working hard on positioning London as a sport and entertainment capital of Europe, and it has been great to hear more on his vision for how WWE can support them on that journey. WrestleMania has delivered more than $1.25 billion in economic impact for its host cities, with this year's event in Philadelphia attracting over 145,000 fans from 64 countries. There is a lot that needs to be discussed further, but we share the ambition of Mayor Khan in trying to bring a standout WWE Premium Live event to London. WWE's Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque added, quote, WWE and London have a long and successful history dating back many decades, and meeting with Sadiq Khan to discuss what the future of this partnership could bring has been excellent. This year alone, WWE has taken record-breaking events around the world to Australia, France, Scotland, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. The appetite from the fans is there, and the excitement from the mayor and his team in London is palpable. So what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Could we see WrestleMania in London? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, speaking of WWE PR, Tony Khan has had his say. Now, Tony Khan has commented on reports that a new media rights deal between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery has been agreed upon in principle. Tony Khan enjoys his working relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery, and he has often commented on how proud he is that his promotion, All Elite Wrestling, was able to resume a great American tradition by bringing professional wrestling back to TBS and TNT. Now, Khan is still negotiating a new media rights agreement and is exclusively speaking with WBD. He is also shooting down reports that a new agreement had been reached in principle, alleging that WWE's PR team is responsible for getting that story out. Now, on the media call prior to Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics asked Tony Khan about these rumors. Khan responded that it would be too premature to say that a deal has been agreed upon in principle, but would reaffirm that talks are ongoing and positive. Here's what Khan had to say.
I was wondering if you could tell us if there's any truth to the report that there's an agreement in principle between AEW and WBD for a TV renewal.
Well, we're having great talks. It's still in conversation, so I think that would be premature to say that, we're all set and done, because that's, still what we're working on. So having great talks, including today, and have had some great meetings with the executive team, Mr. Zasloff, Kathleen Finch, Bruce Campbell, and the great people at Warner Brothers Discovery. They've put a lot of time in and had a lot of great meetings and conversations. So it's still something we're all working on together. I think it would be premature to say that for sure, but also important to note that it's a very good ongoing dialogue that we're having. Thanks, Brandon.
Okay, and we're going to wrap up here probably with Brian Zillum from PW Torch. We may have a couple more write-ins here, actually, Tony, but Brian, you're up next.
Hey, Jim, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
Or Brian, it's interesting. I don't usually do this, but since Brandon brought it up and asked, I had a major member of the wrestling media mention to me yesterday, WWE is telling people that, and I don't know why WWE is telling people about our media rights deal. I don't really know what it's any of their business. I don't really understand why WWE PR calls people and talks about my business. WWE PR is telling people that the deal is done, and that the deal is done at the same level that it was going to be our previous deal. That's not the case. I don't know why WWE PR and why major wrestling media members who are very credible and have never lied to me I don't know why they're telling people that. It's none of their business. I think WWE PR really gets involved in a lot of things they shouldn't get involved in. And I can tell you that is very untrue, because when we make a deal for AEW, it's going to be a great deal with a big increase over what we've been doing. We're in a really good position. We've been doing great business here despite what they're trying to do to us. Thanks.
So what do you make of what Tony Khan said there? Is it sour grapes? Is he right? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, Vince McMahon, what is the latest when it comes to the lawsuit involving Janelle Grant? Well, after a federal judge granted a stay in Janelle Grant's civil suit against WWE, Vince McMahon and various others for sexual harassment, abuse and trafficking, Grant brought a suit against her former physician, Dr. Carlon M. Kolker. According to new filings in the case, representatives for McMahon feel that Grant's efforts to gain medical records from Kolker violate the 6-month stay that was granted earlier this year. Quote, today's motion is in response to Ms. Grant's flagrant violation of federal stay order, Jessica Taub Rosenberg, partner Aiken, Gump and counsel to Vince McMahon wrote, quote, after telling the federal court that she would pause her lawsuit, Ms. Grant immediately violated the stay order, seeking one-sided discovery for her own benefit. Her lawyer told the media that the information sought in the new Connecticut state action is to assist in our claims in the federal action. We are asking the federal court to ensure that plaintiff abides by the court's order, and if she does not, that civil contempt and financial sanctions may result, end quote. Now, while McMahon's team was filing their motion regarding Grant's efforts to obtain medical records, Dr. Kolker's representative filed a notice to appear in Grant's case against Kolker and his practice, Peak Wellness Incorporated, meaning they intend to cooperate with Grant's motion. Grant is seeking record as during her time under McMahon's employ, she was allegedly given treatments by Kolker, a physician for McMahon, the substance of which Grant was allegedly unaware of at the time of the treatment. So as far as what's going on with this, of course, we get any more details with that, we'll let you know, but that is the latest development when it comes to Vince McMahon and his ongoing lawsuit. Now, social media was set ablaze yesterday by Drew McIntyre posting a photo with Jack Perry and then deleting it. Now, clearly still taking aim at CM Punk, Drew McIntyre posted a photo, you can see it on the screen right there, posing with current AEW TNT champion Jack Perry. And while we can't confirm when it was taken, it seems at least relatively recent given Perry's full facial hair. McIntyre added the caption, quote, it's a real photo, cry us a river, end quote. However, shortly thereafter, the post was deleted. Now, you can see the post was real. It wasn't a fake or a Photoshop or anything like that. McIntyre did indeed post that to social media, both his X account as well as Instagram. Now, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's feud in WWE continues to have elements that allude to Punk's past issues from his time in AEW without making mention of TV of actual players or anything like that, although there have been mentions from McIntyre on social media, including Colt Cabana. Punk famously had a backstage physical altercation with Jack Perry at Wembley Stadium during last year's AEW All In London 2023 event, an incident that ultimately led to Punk's being fired from the company. Later, AEW aired the actual CCTV footage of the altercation as part of a storyline with the Young Bucks, who Punk also had a backstage run-in with after AEW All Out the year prior in 2022. CM Punk returned to WWE at Survivor Series in November of last year, wrestling in the men's Royal Rumble match in January of this year, suffering an injury in that match upon taking a DDT from McIntyre himself. Despite being out of action due to the injury, CM Punk has continued to maintain a heated feud with McIntyre, with an upcoming match scheduled for SummerSlam, with Seth Rollins being the special guest referee. So, as far as why this was deleted, well, we don't actually know yet why he deleted it, why it was pulled down. Fans have got their own theories as to why that was the case. But in an update when it comes to the reaction within WWE, WRKD Wrestling is reporting, quote, while Drew McIntyre deleted his photo of Jack Perry, there is zero concern of any backstage heat. McIntyre and CM Punk are working closely to craft their feud, and all references to past AEW or backstage issues have been given the green light by Punk ahead of time. So, seemingly, it looks like there's no issues when it comes to McIntyre putting that tweet up. We get any more details as to why it was deleted, of course, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, speaking of Punk, there's been a lot of news about CM Punk this week, hasn't there, when it comes to his contract. Now, CM Punk and contract negotiations already, well, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, kind of. This week, word emerged via Ibo of Wrestle Purist that CM Punk was in talks to adjust his current WWE contract. This led to a lot of discussing and editorializing that Punk was already trying to renegotiate his deal that he signed in November of 2023. Now, Fightful Select are reporting they have been told that isn't so much the case. Regarding injury time being added, it's tough to tell without seeing the contract itself, but people close to Punk were quick to note that Punk hasn't actually stopped working for WWE WWE during the time that he's been out. He's made appearances on Raw, SmackDown, PLE shows, worked on commentary, on pre-shows, so he's been very active. He also went out to help at NXT a number of times, which Fightful have been told was something he actually volunteered to do. Thus far, Fightful have heard that CM Punk has overcome the reputation that he had coming back to WWE, and he has been very easy to deal with. One WWE source said that many of the promo lines thrown his way would have likely been an issue last year, but that Punk has handled it well and knows that he's in the middle of a hot angle. It's worth noting that Fightful have not heard of any significant updates on this element since Drew McIntyre posted that picture of himself with Jack Perry. This week, McIntyre did that and outright named Colt Cabana while speaking about Punk, which has been something most in the company have stayed away from. Regarding his deal, Fightful Select are reporting they have been told by WWE sources that Punk's deal isn't up imminently, and that the company approached him about the possibility of expanding the deal as business has exploded, and there are more elements that can be worked in. Now, seemingly, Punk's happy to stay, and it looks like he could be staying for quite some time. Now, a bit of an update when it comes to Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker at AEW All In. The match has been made official. The time for waiting is over, as Britt Baker will officially be challenging Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS Championship at AEW All In next month. Having arranged an attack on Baker this past Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, Moné and her new ally Camille crashed a panel Baker was speaking on, which also included several AEW talent and AEW CEO Tony Khan at San Diego Comic-Con on Thursday. Quote, "How are you feeling after last night at AEW Dynamite, huh?" Moné can be heard asking Baker. And another question, Britt, how does it feel that you're never going to be as good as Mercedes Moné? How does it feel that you're never going to get the TBS Championship ever again? How does it feel that you're never going to have a match at All In because I'll be facing anybody but you? Tensions further arose when Baker and Moné found themselves in a tense stare-down, and a subsequent brawl erupted between them, leading to Khan, Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, and a security guard breaking things up. For weeks on AEW Dynamite, every Wednesday on TBS, ever since Forbidden Door, you see Dr. Britt Baker and the TBS champion Mercedes Moné going at it and arguing. "I'm sick of it," said a frustrated Khan moments before making the match official. The issues between Baker and Moné date back to the aforementioned Forbidden Door pay-per-view, when Baker put Moné on notice at the event and warned her she was coming for the title. So that match is now official. Now, WWE is currently in Japan, and they're having several shows featuring Japanese wrestling legend Meiko Satomura. Now, for the first time since March of 2023, Meiko Satomura has returned to a WWE ring, with her latest performance taking place earlier today at an international WWE live event in Osaka, Japan. A new report, however, now suggests that this may have been part of a retirement tour, as the veteran performer soon prepares to lace up her boots for the final time. According to Tokyo Sports, sources close to Satomura indicate that she is planning to retire from professional wrestling in 2025. An official date for Satomura's last match is yet to be determined, but with her 30-year in-ring anniversary coming up in April, the season of spring has reportedly been circled as a potential time frame for the occasion. Now, obviously, she's had a lengthy run in professional wrestling. If we get any more details on that, we'll let you know. It looks like she's going to be facing off against Bayley at these Japanese live events, so of course, we'll let you know the outcome of those matches too. Now, Triple H has been busy in London, of course, talking to the mayor about possibly bringing WrestleMania here. But what about Brock Lesnar? He's also commented on the possibility of the Beast returning to WWE. Of course, Lesnar has been away from WWE since he lost to Cody Rhodes last year at SummerSlam. He was planned for a return at January's Royal Rumble, but due to him being referenced in the Vince McMahon/Janelle Grant lawsuit, his return was cancelled and he hasn't been seen since. His initial planned creative direction post-Rumble would have seen him face Dominic Mysterio at Elimination Chamber and then Gunther at WrestleMania. In conjunction with yesterday's news that WWE's Levesque and Nick Khan have held talks with Mayor of London Sadiq Khan about London potentially hosting a future WrestleMania, they were interviewed by Mail Sport. When asked how close Brock Lesnar is to a WWE return, Levesque replied, quote, "You'd have to ask Brock Lesnar that. Brock does his own thing. He's up in Canada, I'm sure, watching his kids play hockey and enjoying life. If and when he decides he would like to do something, we'd be open to the conversation, but we'll see." Now, throughout his entire absence, Brock Lesnar has remained on the current roster page on WWE's official website. However, he was removed from the WWE 2K24 video game along with Vince McMahon. And finally, Paul White, an authority figure in Ring of Honor. There's a new authority figure in Ring of Honor, and he is a familiar face as professional wrestling legend. Paul White has officially been given his new position on screen. On last night's airing of ROH on Honor Club, it was officially revealed that Paul White has been appointed to the Ring of Honor Board of Directors. With his new authority, he quickly made a match official for the upcoming Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. White revealed that the Undisputed Kingdom will put their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships on the line against Kyle O'Reilly and Tomohiro Ishii at Death Before Dishonor. Elsewhere on the card, Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe is in action against Undisputed Kingdom representative as well, as he defends his title against Roderick Strong. Of course, ROH Death Before Dishonor is set for Friday, July 26th, that being today, at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, which of course is also the host for AEW Collision as part of the Road to All In Summer Series, the residency that AEW is currently undertaking. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.